It's freaking cold, ladies and gentlemen. It's cold. How is your cold? It's cold in the closet, Canada Spaceman, and we are here live for another edition of your Impact Attack here on channelattitude.com and the Hamid Media Group Podbean.com and over at the Hamid Media Group YouTube channel. And then, so we're live. We're live. Brandon's coughing and dying over there.
Still getting over being sick.
It's okay. It's okay. We're all gonna get the Rona at least once. That's what they say. And so I am not alone this week, as you have heard. He kind of snuck in without any of his theme music here. We're gonna go to him first. Normally I go to the other man to my right. Yes, that's my right. We'll go to him, but we're gonna go down into the. You're not a bottom right, Brandon. Let's not call you a bottom right. You're just a bottom. Brandon, ladies and gentlemen.
What up?
Did you have you visited this dispensary lately?
Not in a while actually. I think last week.
Not in a while lately. Last week. Okay, that's good. That's good. At least it wasn't like the Bullet Club when they were like, "Oh, 9 days from tonight. No, 7 days from tonight. How about right now?" And then we didn't even get a match. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? No touching, no nothing. They didn't even fight each other. They said they would. They said they were going to fight each other. But the man who keeps nodding his head, yes, no, yes, it's time to introduce you. No, it's not time to introduce you. Yes, it is time to introduce you. Now is the time to introduce. He's a Rip Rogers guy. He's the vet. I can do that promo without the need of a mix board here. We just hit it with the vet.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like it. Hi everyone. I'm not sick and I'm not cold, and so I feel like the odd man out here. But I'll do my best to use my health to bring you a decent show tonight.
It's fucking awesome.
Fucking awesome, vet.
Yes,
Is that really Big Ray? It just doesn't
really
sound
is.
like him.
Yeah, I'm glad that he told me that the other day, that you didn't know that was Big Ray. This is big. Yeah, so these drops that I have are from an episode of the Ridiculous. Actually, I think it's from the Smack Attack that Big Ray and I did, where he just started talking about Boston and Kapak. You remember the Kapak commercials?
Just to be clear, I know that Ray can do the accent very well, but that particular
big copy,
the
Red Sox,
kind of sounds like a whiter guy. So
it's fucking awesome.
I mean, he is a white guy.
I know, but I said whiter. So I just thought it might have been like, I thought you might have clipped an interview from Ben Affleck and Matt Damon somewhere or something like, I thought that was it. But, and even when he does it now, like live, it sounds like slightly different. It's got a little more of his lower register. So
this clip was sent in to me as well, Vet. And this is also Big Ray.
Yeah, I sucked that cock,
I know that was Big Ray because I was there when that happened. So
whoa.
Not the subject in question, but when it was recorded of him saying it.
Okay. Just
yes.
making sure. You got to verify some of these things there, Vet. You got to specify.
I understand. We've got to be very clear about times, places, people, especially when we're on recorded media that may not last, but may last forever. It's like a Twinkie. So
it's okay. It's all right. We've got some people in the chat. It looks like we've got Canada Spaceman. We've got Javi. We've got Lizbeth. And we've got Sonic the Hedge Rat here for the live edition. You guys are listening to the free edition, which Ray says that he just kind of goes and listens to the show and then finds a place to kind of cut it. So it's not quite 15 minutes. It could be shorter than 15 minutes. It could be longer than 15 minutes.
That's
It's just
if we
just
stay
depends on-
interesting for a long time,
Yeah, it
you may
depends on what
have to
kind of
leave a
content we're giving
45-minute preview.
give you that free for view that's 45 minutes, right, Vet?
Yeah. What if we talk for an hour about not Impact Wrestling, which is kind of how Ray and I do it on the Next Level Wrestling Review, whether we plan to, want to, or not. End up being like the first hour is something else, and then the last hour and 45, hour to hour and 15 minutes is NXT review. I wonder if you would leave an hour preview of bullshit.
Well, I don't know if you
Let's not
listened
test
to,
it though. Let's not test it tonight. No.
I don't know if you listened to the most recent edition of the Ridiculously Random podcast, but he says that we go back and forth each week to pick stories and who's going to do what and that kind of thing, right? Well, last week was my week to pick stories, right? And we literally only talked about one of the stories that I had. The rest of it was just us bullshitting the whole entire show, which, he didn't even read any of the articles I sent him. All week, he was just like, hey, send me the articles, send me the link, send me the link. So we're doing it in the chat.
Hounding
right?
you, right? The hounding.
I sent the stuff in the chat, right? And Billy Ray Valentine is in the chat as well, so there's a witness, right? And then I'm like, hey, yo, did you read any of it? Did you do any of it? And he's just like, no, that's what you're for. You're gonna read it. So we just started the show off just talking about some random shit, and then about almost 2 hours later, we were done. Which is why the show is called the Ridiculously Random Podcast, because I think pretty much Ray and I can make anything entertaining. Anything.
Well, that's debatable, but I mean, you guys did your best. You did your best. I think
we
one
make
of
you
the
entertaining, Vet. Okay.
I think I'm pretty much my back is giving out supporting you guys.
We're the Shawn Michaels, and you're totally the Marty Jannetty.
I'm the Marty Jannetty.
me and Ray combined are the Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, but you got the best stories though.
Yeah, you get the best storylines.
If I'm the Marty Jannetty,
you killed a guy.
I was a one-time Intercontinental Champion.
You killed a guy.
Oh yeah. just to get the HMG views up, I made up a story about killing a guy.
Aren't you a tag team champ too?
Oh yeah, many times, so many different times, too many times to count.
And then me and Ray combined threw him through that barbershop window.
That's what it felt like. Do you realize that the Ridiculously Random Podcast, even though it existed before, but what it is essentially what I tried to shut down from happening on the shows that I appeared on here. So
we try to contain it into segments.
Yeah,
with the mailbag and all the other stuff that caps on the end there.
It works out okay, I guess, for you guys who are into that. I think I may send in an email one day where it'll be the rules of a drinking game that will get all of you alcohol poisoning who follow along with the drinking game.
Well, this week, top 5 video game fighters, like top 5 fighting video games. So send your emails to yourrandompod@gmail.com, and Big Ray and I will read them on the air. We would like to get one from all of you, Brandon, you especially. You, Vet, because I'm sure you play a lot of fighting games out there. You're a game connoisseur. So I don't want to put you on the spot. What's your number 6, Vet? Since we're not, we don't want to spoil your number 1 just in case you write an email. We don't want to get 5 through 1. What is your number 6?
Sub-Zero, because he's iconic. Look.
No, game, fighting game.
Oh, you want the whole game? You said
like
fighters.
Fighting game. No, I meant fighting game. Sorry. It's top 5 fighting games.
Oh, so number 6.
Yes.
My number 6 fighting game. Well, I had that in the pocket. I've just been waiting for somebody to ask. Mortal Kombat 1 featuring Sub-Zero. No, I don't know. There's been a million fighting games.
I enjoy there's one of the Dark Horse. It may or may not be on my list. The Dead or Alive franchise.
Ah, yes.
They had the volleyball game that they played that was very popular. But they're very popular because the physics of the boobies.
Right.
They bounce really well compared to other fighting games.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was
Sorry.
important. Like we learned the importance of jiggle physics with the hand drawn sprites of Mai Shiranui from Fatal Fury 2 and King of Fighters on. Like they didn't have a lot of going on, a lot of static images, but they made sure that Mai was very bouncy. And ever since then, the importance of jiggle physics could not be understated in a fighting video game starring a female. Did anybody ever happen to see the movie adaptation of Dead or Alive?
No, there was a movie adaptation.
Oh my God. So when
was Ryu Hayabusa in it?
Not exactly, but Zach was in it. And Kevin Nash was in it. He played what's her name's dad?
The wrestler chick's dad?
Yeah, the wrestler chick. What's her name?
Yeah, the wrestler chick. Yeah. I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
Chad, help me out. You're all Dead or Alive fans in here. Well, the wrestler chick and her dad are both playable characters in the games, and Kevin Nash played the dad, and Jamie Presley played the girl. So. And the best part was like the final boss is like Eric Roberts in one of those kung fu pajama suits that had like a pair of like sunglasses that they digitally made him the best fighter of all time. It was like having the Matrix to make you learn kung fu. Like he had these special glasses on. Yeah. Canada Spaceman knows. Dead or Alive, the movie was awesome. Yeah.
My favorite all-time bad movie is the Super Mario Brothers movie. Always will be.
Yeah, that's a great all-time bad movie. Yeah,
that's
a terrible one.
That is pretty bad, but entertaining in its own way. In a way that movies of the era of the 80s and the early 90s had a certain charm to it, where like even them being bad still, as Jean-Claude Van Damme said in the semi-autobiographical parody film JCVD, all of my films were having heart. So that kind of applies to those movies. Like they had a heart. But Dead or Alive wasn't bad enough to be bad. It was actually pretty good. It had hot chicks fighting in bikinis, in the rain sometimes. They did play volleyball in the movie.
It had interactive levels, like you could knock people through levels, and the levels were like rather interactive and things like that.
And they did that in the movie too. And so it had Kevin Nash and Eric Roberts. Yeah, that's the one thing the movie didn't have. They didn't have him, but.
And for those of you that don't know who Ryu Hayabusa is, that is the main character of all the Ninja Gaiden games. For some reason, he found himself in this menagerie of fighters just randomly. Like how do you
tech mode?
No, I get that, but like it's I mean, I've played it, so I've seen the stories and how they intertwine everything, but it's just so random that they don't use that as the selling point for this game, right?
Was he like a bonus character? Like, and him?
No, in the Dead or Alive 5, I think, or 4, he was he wasn't a bonus character. He was in the game, and you could get him in the
Isn't he in all the games?
You could get him in like the black suit or the white suit. I think he had a white suit.
Well, anyway, it's the Armstrongs. That's who I was trying to think of, but Canada Spaceman's got it. Tina Armstrong and Bass Armstrong.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and they had the drunken fighter. You could fight as Jackie Chan and the drunken master guy. It's always a fun games. Speaking of drunken fighting, the vet, you watched some UFC over the weekend. Actually, you watched some UFC just now before the show. Your thoughts on any of these fake fights?
Yeah, they did some jobs in UFC again. Derek Lewis did, and it was to forearms. So for all those guys that say these forearms in wrestling are phony, go watch this UFC pay-per-view where two guys got knocked out back-to-back with a forearm. That's all I got to say.
Who threw better forearms, the UFC fighters or Moose on top of Morrissey in the mount position on Impact Wrestling?
Oh, Moose. If there was anybody out there to stop it, they would have stopped it. But that's an issue we'll talk about later when we get
there
to
were
it.
Definitely no
Guards! More guards!
to save Morrissey this evening. Nope. Unfortunately not. Anything else that you guys want to touch on before we hop into the show?
I don't know. Any games over the weekend? No, probably not, right?
No, there wasn't nothing all that crazy to
Nah.
talk about. I'm sure they talked about it on the Monday Locker Room. I'm pretty sure you're going to talk about it on the Next Level Wrestling Review. See, that's the great thing about this show, Vet, is that we don't really have to cover a lot of the big topics because they're going to hear those on the Monday Locker Room with Ben Hameen and usually Rick Vickery. Hopefully Rick was on the show. I didn't tune in. He was not.
It was Ray
Yeah,
again.
It was Ray again. I figured he needed some time to heal up. It was a rough loss for Bengals fans out there, and Vickery is a Bengals fan. And the LA Rams bringing home another trophy, and Cooper Kupp winning MVP. He probably should have won league MVP, as he won every other award ever that you can give a wide receiver in regular season. This guy, like, it took Jerry Rice a whole entire career to win some of these things, and Cooper Kupp did it all in one season. Also, I mean, having an extra game does count, so they probably need to go on ahead and put the asterisks in the record book now. Like, going ahead and close the old record book, and now that we have this extra game and all this other stuff, going ahead and open a new record book and just jot everybody down for the start of the season, because it's gonna be, oh my God, broken records. Oh my God, broken records. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen a running back like touch anything this year. I guess it really wasn't this season of running backs. It was definitely the year of the wide receiver.
It's a passing game now.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want running backs. It's not exciting. They like, and they see the opportunity to give an award, an MVP award, to a white wide receiver. They're going to take it. That's a rare.
Aaron
thing
Rodgers won the actual MVP, like league MVP award.
Well, Aaron Rodgers. But yeah, so if you get a chance to get, there's going to be a lot of like, they're going to use that for marketing. They add an extra game so they can get a little more revenue, but they also are using it for marketing, because now they can say, oh, look, you're missing, guys, if you're not watching the NFL, you're missing record-breaking seasons now, because these guys are breaking records, even though it's a whole extra game, so it's bullshit. But I'm sure that's how they felt when they moved it from 16 games to 14. So, like, this is just what happens.
I mean, it's just like in baseball, where they had the seasons. Even in basketball, the seasons were different. It's like, as soon as you change it, you probably should close the old record book and open a new one, and not try to compare eras and seasons, because, again, you're comparing apples to oranges at that point.
Well, in any case, it's over now. We can wait for a new asterisk-filled season next season.
That is true. Much like the free review is over. Big Ray, you can cut it here if you're listening to it, as we will roll in to the paid portion of the show at channelattitude.com. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to do the intros again.
No, we're not doing the intros again.
The man to my right is the vet.
Stop it.
And the man, the bottom of the show, the power bottom of your Impact Attack, Brandon, ladies and gentlemen.
They all listen to this already. They know. People don't just tune in the middle of the show. They listen to the free part too, even if they paid.
How do you know? They might not. They might skip the free review. They're like, I don't really care about UFC. I want to get right to the meat and potatoes of Impact Wrestling. Vet.
If they don't care that much, then they're certainly not going to care about hearing who we are again. They should know who we are by now. Damn it! The
all
VBC.
They watch.
We have a gimmick. Even you gave us a gimmick.
It's true.
So they know. They don't. We need. We're the ones who need no introduction. That's all I got. That's all I got for my introduction.
Well, this person, this fictional person that we're talking about, that they only watched they only watched the beginning portion of the show, so they caught the video package recapping what happened last week with Morrissey destroying everything, and then he just decided to turn it off because he likes his free he whatever. He didn't want to watch the rest of the show, Vet. But we're going to continue on.
That
Because
hypothetical person. Okay.
this hypothetical person, he went and did hypothetical things, which
Right.
we will not bespeak of here on this show anymore. Vet, we started this show. Yeah.
Oh no! Yes, we sure did. We started
this
this show. All right. So you can find me at Opinion Haver everywhere.
No, not ended the show. No,
well,
we started the show.
that's all. That's all there was. We started it, and that's it. It's over.
Oh, okay. Vet,
Your premium.
Vet, I
your
guess
premium. Nothing. you get nothing.
That's calling the show, ladies and gentlemen. It's a quick finish.
That's right. This is the inside cradle to surprise everyone. Just
you paid for 5 minutes of show.
how good would that be? Like if we did a surprise finish podcast,
April Fool's edition.
Yeah,
Hit the roll
dude.
up.
We had a great April Fool's joke last year, Colin. Right, for the next level where we were acting like we were putting out a full episode, and it was just a 30-minute review of Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah.
And then something happened. We got kicked off some platform again. And that never saw the light of day. So you guys didn't see our genius idea. But this year we should be more stable. And if we come up with a good April Fool's idea, it might work. It might actually get to see. But you guys have no idea what you missed out on.
We'll do the show where we're like the upside down chin people. Have you seen? We'll like hold our cameras, so like we'll put eyes on our chins, and then they'll be us doing the show.
Yeah, there's no chance in hell of that happening.
Why not, Vet? Come on, live a little.
Yeah. You haven't lived until you held your camera upside down
and done chin people.
Yeah. Fuck that. But you haven't lived until you've seen Josh Alexander get in this ring heated. Okay. He's out here basically just saying, give me my title match, right? That's basically what he's saying. But we get a surprise interruption here. And this was a very big surprise. And I mean big surprise, as in massive amount of surprise, weight-wise and height-wise. It was Big Con. And if you're sitting at home right now or in the car or whatever going like, what? Then you're not alone in that. But this is, it would be Connor, formerly known as Connor from the Ascension. Also a great name, Connor. Just Connor. But he's Big Con now with a K. K-O-N. Yeah, he's Big Con.
A Big Con.
Yeah. Guys, can we in wrestling in 2022 or anywhere in the world in 2022, can we stop calling guys big something?
Can we call him Lil Con?
Yeah, that'd be funny too. Like if you just had people would expect a rapper to come out, but I mean, just Big Con. Who can you name anybody who has big in front of their name that anybody gives a fuck about?
Big Crit. Big Pun, Big Sean, Big Boy, Big Van Vader, Big Boy, the restaurant,
Bob's Big Boy,
Big Ray.
I was waiting for somebody to get to it. That was my whole setup. But seriously, and Big Ray can be Big Ray if he wants to. But
Big Mac.
I think even Ray will agree if he doesn't stop listening to it after we cut off the free part. I think even Ray will agree that there is a lot of people that just stick big in front of a regular ass name and expect that to be like interesting and marketable. It's the laziest thing. I mean, maybe back in the 1920s when there was, when marketing was first starting or whatever, like calling something big something was like, whoa, that's cool. But now it's just, come on, man. It's so ridiculous. Do you two either ever go back and listen to old stuff that's just like so old that we just accepted it, but now we like if it was to come out now, we'd be like, what kind of lazy, uncreative shit is that? Like Superman, Batman. Like everything was just a man. Like every superhero was just something man. Like, you know what I mean? Spider-Man. Like these things are like, they're iconic now and they're just ingrained in society, but they seem so lazy and uncreative. Like if you really think about it, right? And just calling somebody big something is kind of like that. Is poor Connor going to get over as Big Con in 2022 and beyond?
Especially not after this.
Yeah, not after this. No.
Yeah, I didn't even get to what happened.
Not even coming out to do the job. But I want to see Big Superman now from Canada Spaceman. Be careful what you wish for because you might get Big French Spider-Man.
Ooh.
Abe Lincoln kind of had, historians say that Abe Lincoln kind of battled back and forth between Honest Abe and Big Abe.
Yeah. Big Link.
Big Link, son. No, let's go Honest Abe. I think it's better in the history books.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, this doesn't last long. As
Apparently, we're
alluded
not
to.
going to get Big French Spider-Man after making fun of Big Ray.
Yeah. So he just kind of gets he just gets ankle locked pretty quickly, right? And an impromptu match, right? They get a referee out there. It's that one referee that was quietly released from the WWE and nobody knew about it until he showed up on Impact, and I pointed it out last week. Yeah, he's here, and he makes sure that everybody knows that Big Con submits, and Josh Alexander's not having it.
There was a pre-tap there. I feel like Big Con kind of botched the spot as he gets him in the ankle lock, and when he goes to reverse it the first time and like kick him off, but Josh stays on him and he rolls with it again. He goes and like slaps Josh Alexander like twice, like he's going to tap, but the ref doesn't do anything to like signify it. Like he just kind of does it twice, and then Josh like rolls him again, and then when he's face down on the mat, that's when he taps. So I don't know if he was doing a thing where he's just kind of like, because they do that in wrestling. Because back in the day, guys used to slap, right? Like when they were before tapping became a thing with UFC and actual like real fighting, guys would like tap and like that was them like struggling, like them hyping up. They would tap and like, oh God, I'm getting hurt. Oh God, But that's almost seems like that's what he was doing there, and then he rolled over and tapped. So I thought he was tapping when they did the rollover. I'm like, why isn't the ref stopping it? He's tapping.
Was that him just weakly fighting back too? Like, was that what did you see, Brandon?
It looked like it could have been like you said, a weak wave, probably possibly fishing away for an out or something, but he couldn't really get a hold of anything.
Right, because bless his heart, he's not that good. So I could see him like doing that. He's big. Yeah. Well, don't worry. He gives up in time. I'm sure his ankle will be preserved. But Scott D'Amore comes out because Josh Alexander will not let this ankle lock go. He continues to punish poor Big Con, who only showed up, for a payday and possibly a meal, and he's sitting here getting abused in this impromptu match. And Colin has his hand up.
Professor Vet. We're going to treat this like Chase U. Professor Vet, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Will Impact Insurance cover the cost of any torn ligaments or tendons in the ankle of Big Con because Josh Alexander held him after the bell?
Well,
so,
that's
like, contractually, I guess they wouldn't have to, but since it was after the bell, you think, Professor?
That's a very good question, Colin. If I gave a fuck.
Ah, damn it.
Now, anyways, so this is the funny part to me. A fleet of security comes in to save Big Con.
You could use a hamburger every now and again.
That was not the guards, more guards. He could use a hamburger at this moment.
I'm sure he has. That was
Maybe
probably
nice
part
egg
of his motivation for showing up and working here today.
Or maybe a nice egg in this trying time.
What happened again, Vet?
Oh, yes, security came out to save Big Con.
More guards!
Right. Big Con. The hitman, apparently. Like Scott D'Amore hired Big Con to do a hit on Josh Alexander to calm him down. Like, that's what I get out of this whole thing. Like, oh, you got to fight this guy now because whatever. And then security has to come and save the hitman from Josh Alexander. Now, the reason I'm making a big deal out of this, if you listen along every week with us, that you know, it's like, why does security come out sometimes? Why do they not come out other times? Why the hell would anybody care about what happens to this guy to this degree? Why? I'll tell you why. Because it's the spot. That's why. Not because it made sense, because it's the spot. There's going to be a spot later, and we'll talk about it then, and I'll bring it all full circle. But for now, Scott D'Amore comes out here. He's one of the people that tries to pull Josh Alexander off, and he gets shoved. Okay, and then Josh realized what he'd done, and then Scott D'Amore starts telling a story, and I'm like, okay, here we go. So I started to fix myself something to eat.
It's your wife. I was at your wedding, and I'm friends with Jade and Jen, or whatever your wife's name is, and I'm friends with her, and that's how
he's
I knew
friends
you were
with her.
gonna pick the guy.
He's not. It sounded like he
feeling
said that
honored.
was his woman, and Josh married her. Is that not what you heard? That's what I heard. Chat, am I wrong? Did I hear Scott D'Amore get cucked by Josh Alexander in this promo? He outed himself?
No, that'd make an interesting motivation, though.
Oh, he didn't say it?
That would explain a lot.
That's why I got to make you world champion, because you had sex with my wife.
Yeah, but it was like the way he told the story made it seem like they were dating or had been dating at some point, and then Josh Alexander came in and he had to stand by and watch that because he's a good friend. Like, he was happy for them. Why would it matter if she's just some woman and he's happy for them, but he's her friend? Like, is that, I don't know. I guess I just misheard part of what he was saying at
I have
the
to
beginning.
go back and watch it. I think he said something about them being really good friends.
Yeah,
I
what
think
does
he
that
just
mean?
kinda heard
Especially in
the-
wrestling, especially in Impact Wrestling. What's that guy's name? The Invisible Hand. Did he watch? Did he watch and give himself an invisible handy? Like, what's going on over here?
Yes, she is, Javi. Yes, she is.
Yeah, it's hotter than Carl Anderson's Asian wife. I'll tell you that.
Yes, they're better. I got you, Vet. I
Yeah,
got you.
thank you.
Yes, they're better than Madison
who's
Rayne
better?
and Josh Matthews. Matthew Raywalt and Tom Hannafin.
Okay.
Tom Newjob.
All right. So, but before I go back to you guys real quick, just to wrap this scene up, I just want to make sure I have everything straight, like in the storyline. Okay. So W. Morrissey can destroy his workplace and his coworkers and get his title match still, but Josh Alexander just wins matches, whether they're scheduled or unscheduled, and he gets sent home because he's out of control.
And he
And-
can make matches whenever he wants and call a ref down whenever he wants.
And Josh actually pointed this out, so that's why he said there's something going on and he wants answers.
Yes.
I want answers too.
Vet
I mean, I know
wants
what's going
answers,
on.
damn it.
I know what's going on in bad booking, but I mean, at least they're trying to salvage it. Okay.
Sonic the Hedgehog didn't care that hard about what Scott said. I don't think many people did. Many people.
Okay.
We're just caring about the passion. The passion that Josh Alexander had in this promo. Brandon, what were your overall thoughts here?
I thought this was a career promo for him. There's a lot of intensity. There was passion in it. You could tell that he really meant what he was saying, that it came from the heart, and this was a career promo, in my opinion.
For Josh.
For Josh, yes.
Okay. Because Scott D'Amore just
this
did
is
a wrestling promo.
This is probably one of the best promos I've seen him do on the mic. Probably one of the best times I've seen him on the mic. There's a lot of rumors of him possibly jumping ship to AEW or just appearing over in AEW since Ethan is over there now, kind of making a name for himself and other things like that. So there could be a little bit of that behind this promo, even though this was shot before some of this news came out about him going to AEW, but still, that's where the rumblings could be from and the passion behind this promo. But yeah, I think he's going to eventually dethrone Moose and kind of be the face of this company. What do you guys think?
knowing the connections and knowing the people involved, this could all very well be an elaborate work with a bunch of people involved.
All right,
Yep,
Vet.
I'll go with that.
What's next? What do we have happen after Josh?
Well, Burt Macklin wants to take Josh's place because Scott D'Amore in the previous segment pulled him out of the match when he sent him home. I'm sending you home. Not suspended or any of those. He said the phrase sending you home. So Burt Macklin's like, hey, I want to be in the match. All of a sudden, Burt Macklin's a stand-up guy and wants to fight for the honor of Impact Wrestling against Honor No More. So he's saying, hey, put me in there. And D'Amore's like, well, I'm going to talk to the team and I'll let them decide who they're going to replace Josh Alexander with. So that's that. Not really much else to say. They show a little bit of the no surrender card that they have down so far. One of the matches is Jay White versus Eric Young, which is like, okay, but why? I mean, they had done nothing up to this point. Like something happens later in this episode, but at the point where they say that this match is happening, there has been absolutely, I don't recall any interaction with them recently. I don't even recall it it could have been months ago, the last time Jay White was there, but I don't really remember that. That was more like he was just interacting with Finjuice the whole time. So I don't really recall him running across Violent by Design, but in case something has slipped my mind, Brandon, do you have any idea why they're announcing Jay White versus Eric Young here? Okay.
I'm assuming maybe because they're the leaders of their respective factions. Only thing I can imagine.
Yeah, I thought that was weird too.
I feel like they could have just waited till later in the show because they always talk about what's coming up twice.
They ruined
they do it once at the beginning after the first segment, and then they do it once before the last segment. So they have that level of structure that they do that every single time, every single week. But they don't even think about like, oh, maybe we should billboard this match after these guys have talked to each other. Anyway, the next
I noticed that too, Vet. They definitely fucked up the booking, being like, "Oh, this match is live," and I'm like, "What do they have to do? I haven't seen anything about these two gentlemen. Why are you talking about this right now?" Like they hadn't even had a segment yet to even set up them fighting each other until the Bullet Club segment later on. Like it's that could have been done better. Like just come on, guys.
Well, you could. That's a good tagline for that should be our tagline for reviewing the show. That could have been done better. So Elizabeth is saying now that he was getting engaged, he's upstanding. I assume she's referring to Bert. I guess he's getting now. Did he get engaged to?
Yep, him and Deanna are engaged now.
Okay. Well, she's still a bitch. Because she comes out here and she's got a mystery opponent. And we quickly find out her mystery opponent, it's Santana from Proud and Powerful. Fresh off his feud with Chris Jericho. Now he's going in here to face Deanna Purrazzo and take one of her two titles. Just kidding.
Impact's
Santana
really
Garrett.
going over.
It's Santana Garrett, guys. Sorry. Sorry.
I thought we had another intergender match going on, but
no, not this time. Santana Garrett. Canada Space Man's very excited. It's so my first thing I gotta say about this is, and I know it sounds like I'm gonna shame these women, but this is a business, and we've talked about this in the past. Either Deanna is chunking up, or her outfit is just less flattering because she's got a King's Hawaiian 24 pack going on here.
Still, bro, you stop it. You stop it. I'm throwing the flag.
Just saying. Throwing the flag, just like the end of the big game when many flags were flying to try to make sure that the Rams won Super Bowl 56. But in any case, I noticed that Santana has hiked her bottoms up some as well, which she's normally in fantastic shape. So I don't know. That I'll just be like, well, look, fine. You want to come in here and be out of shape, fine. This match really wasn't supposed to tear the house down. It's just to be to serve a specific purpose and not tear the house down. But if they were trying to tear the house down, they sure didn't. Deanna wins as predictable. Anything to add about any of this?
I actually got a story about Santana. I used to train with her when she very, very first started getting involved. And there was one time we were doing these drills that ended with a clothesline in the corner, and somebody caught her up high, and she just dropped unconscious. Like knocked
Santana
her out.
got knocked out in the drill?
Yep.
Holy crap!
Who knocked her out? Just some guy?
It was a guy that was just there during training.
Some
Or,
guy
yeah,
probably
one
never.
of the other guys training. Yeah.
Some guy probably never made it in the business. Just
Yeah, exactly. And that's
mean,
stuff
it was-
like that is why.
And she wasn't out for maybe out for like a second.
Still.
unlike Derek Lewis, who's
Yeah.
still out on the canvas.
Yeah.
After that,
And that
forearm.
man who accidentally knocked out Santana Garrett was Tai Tuivasa.
and he had a shoey after.
Right. In training. Like, they were like, what are you doing?
This is my
Where'd
celebration.
you get that alcohol?
This is my celebration after I win.
Yeah. So. Yeah, man. Well, Elizabeth says she's looked that way the last few matches. I mean, I know she has, but she's also been wearing the bodysuits that kind of cover up that middle strip. So, while Liz is here, I'm sure she may have heard me say this before, but I don't understand the thing where if a woman is slightly out of shape like that, like not humongously fat, like that's her gimmick, like a Dewdrop Piper Niven, but just like someone that's on that verge of like too many cheeseburgers one way or another, like Deanna, right? So why are they so obsessed with having like the top part, and then they've got that little like 3-inch strip where they have like their stomach, you know what I mean? Like it's just like a band of stomach, and then their pants are hella high up, so it's just like this one little strip of stomach, the least appealing part of a, even if they had abs, the abs would be covered up. It's just not enough to show off. Like, why don't they just wear a singlet or a onesie? Like, Jordan Grace wears a singlet, right? So, yeah, I don't know.
You know what Jordan Grace doesn't wear?
What doesn't she wear?
The Digital,
Digital Media
World
Championship? You're damn right. All right, well, let's move on and get a little bit closer to that. Scott Demore is here with the Anti-Violent by Design team.
They're the best 4 Impact has to offer.
Minus Willie Mack, which means either Willie Mack is indisposed or they don't feel he's the best Impact
No,
has to
Rhino's
offer.
in there. You got 4. We had our 4.
I'm just saying, Willie Mack is still standing around. He's Rich Swan's friend. It's not like they're like, hey, this is team business, Willie Mack. Go in a corner.
He's in catering. He's enjoying a
All right, you said it.
He's having a donut over a trash can. How dare you?
Well, they need another guy, and they don't go to Willie Mack.
They want
they're
Jonathan
like,
Gresham.
Yeah, they want Jonathan Gresham. So that's what they're going to go see if they can do, is get Jonathan Gresham. No one cares what happened to Willie Mack. Did Willie Mack get taken out last week? I could be forgetting. I don't remember. I just know he wasn't here.
Jonathan Gresham. Do you have to? Because he comes out. He looks like a Cthulhu. Like, do you have to do some kind of like summoning circle to get like to summon him like a Cthulhu? Brandon, help me out here.
I think it's something like that. What was that? I go Cthulhu, Cthulhu.
Something like that.
Well, Jonathan Gresham's not here on the show, on the podcast now, so I guess that ain't it.
That's not how you do it.
All right, well here let's get Brandon more involved in the show, because here comes Chel, and she's gonna take on Mickey with Tasha on commentary and Savannah on Big Red X duty. Now Mickey's a few pounds overweight. Oh God, this is just outrageous. Like, you think just because you're done at the Royal Rumble, you could just get fat? Come on, you're the Impact Women's Champion. So
Bet, I think we have to let Brandon shine in this segment. It's the Chelsea Green segment.
I'm getting. I was just getting to the pitch. So I'm just saying. I just wanted to throw out there because I just said these women are coming in overweight. Now Mickey James is one of them. A little muffin top there for hardcore country.
Good.
So Chelsea is not looking fat here. She's looking as only she can look. Brandon, take it away.
Chelsea looked amazing. Chelsea was great. Chelsea was awesome.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I need to sell it more.
Chelsea's great. Oh yeah, and also putting a show together with 2 women's matches back to back. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, very nice. Glad you caught that. Well, Tasha gets involved, and she throws trash in the ring, literal trash.
Yes.
Throws a garbage, one of those little waste baskets in the ring. And so that's also that the ex WWE ref can loudly ask what they're doing, and DQ DQ whoever he DQ'd.
Mickey James.
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, great. We're furthering our angle with Tasha and Mickey, and that's very exciting for everyone. Okay, Boopender.
Here.
What?
Do you think they're going to put the title on Tasha? Do you think she's going to go over Mickey here?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think it would be the move here. I think
The first Afro Latina.
Yes. Yes. It's perfect. Vince didn't think about it for like 30 years.
It's better than all these other non-factors.
Why not give her a shot? Let her see how she does. Worst case, flip it back to Mickey.
Yeah.
Right.
Or back
That's
on
why they're
Deanna.
giving her that. That's why they're giving her the red X to see how it looks when she carries something around.
Well, Savannah was carrying it tonight. Did you notice that? Did you notice how when they showed commentary the first time, right? Savannah was standing there, right? And she was her body language and everything she was towards the camera, right? And then after they kind of introduced everybody, they panned down again, right? And then as she's standing forward, she makes sure to like turn so that you can see she's carrying the big red X. Like it was made it so obvious too. Like she's like somebody like whispered to her or said something like, "Hey, show him the X," and you see her kind of like turn to make sure she gets the big red X in the thing. Now she's being the good enforcer and carrying these things for Tasha. So if Tasha wins the belt, she's not going to be carrying it. Savannah's going to be carrying her belt.
Yeah. That was congratulations. But so that's the thing. Is that a test? It's like, oh, you're just going to hand your belt off to Savannah to hold? Well, then maybe we won't make you the champion. Not even going to respect our championship. No, I don't know. So yeah, moving on. Bhupinder Gujjar with Gia and no music underneath. The kid had a dream. It involved boxing and kickboxing and wrestling, and I guess none of those worked out, so he started pro wrestling. And then this dream also didn't include Raj Singh, who walks up and immediately Bhupinder is disgusted and leaves. So
Raj is really being set up to be the voice piece for him, right?
I guess. Speaking of voice pieces, Inspiration's checking up on Caleb and the phone, and they want him to take some pictures, so they go stand in the darkest possible place in any building ever, and then Caleb has to say, because it's in the script, oh, the lighting is really good in here, even though they're like standing in the dark. There are literally lights shining on the adjacent wall, and they go over to stand in the dark corner. And he's pretending to take pictures of them, and then Madison comes in and shuts it down. So, riveting stuff with Caleb with a K and the Inspiration here. I do like seeing them, but I'd like to see them in better lighting than this. Guys, any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I noticed that too. How weird that lighting was. It's like I don't know how to describe it. It needed a little bit more brightness to it, a lot more brightness.
Yeah, the way to describe it is dark. It was dark. It's like it looks like my background, like my room here. The lights are all off. I've got the only thing that's illuminating me is the light on the camera right here. My camera has 2 little lights on it, and that's that's what's keeping me. But that's what they look like. They look like they were just standing in the shadows, and Caleb's like, the lighting's really good, and take a picture. Whatever. Anyway,
And it looks like they're also doing like what's on Caleb's phone angle.
right. I mean, that's it's a pro wrestling show. Why wouldn't you want to know what's on a peripheral manager's phone?
Oh,
Finally,
honestly, well,
Maybe
I'd
they
rather
do
have
pictures.
the inspiration. Honestly, if we have to choose between the influence and the inspiration, I'd rather have the inspiration all day, every day. And I said last week that they were trying to turn this into a Caleb's going to join the inspiration, and I feel like that's what's going to happen here. Is he's gonna join the inspiration. He's going to be their new guy.
this is going to become a Caleb on a pole match.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Caleb, what
All
if they put him in a shark cage like they did with Enzo?
Well, that is what they're going to do because you can't actually put him on a pole. So it's
Yes,
gonna
you
have to be
could. You could put him on a pole, vet.
What about Caleb on a forklift?
Caleb on a forklift. They put Judy Bagwell on a pole.
Pretty soon they're going to need to put Mickey James and Deanna on a forklift. So finally, a real wrestler and his friends in the Bullet Club show up. But from my personal perspective, it quickly turns into Monday Night Raw. So like, here's the thing. Jay White's promos, right, guys? They're meant to be grating and annoying. Like, that's the science of his promos. The way he does his promos is to get on your nerves. That's not it doesn't just happen. That's a design of his, but he's being put in a situation here where it's like, okay, well, I guess I'm the babyface, but really it's the lesser of two evils that the crowd is going to prefer. Like, Violent by Design is a bunch of crazy white people. Bullet Club is cool and diverse, like, so it's like, hey, Bullet Club, guys, Bullet Club, right? But Jay White's still doing his annoying heel promo because no matter what, he's still got to be Switchblade. He's not going to change fundamentally who his character is just because he's in the position of being the cheered person out of the feud. So he's doing the right thing here, but being in the spot doesn't do him any favors as far as like the people that are tuning in that aren't used to seeing him. It puts him in an awkward position. Tama Tonga almost saved this whole thing at the end with his last few lines. But like I said, a lot of this just felt like Monday Night Raw with guys coming out and getting microphones and saying things and and trying to make matches on the spot, like you mentioned, Colin, earlier. They deserve better than this. So even though Jay White is great, this is not the best showcase of Jay White, even though he didn't do anything wrong.
I like that you compared this to Monday Night Raw, Vet, because as they were doing the Bullet Club entrance and they were chanting Bullet Club, you could hear them trying to get the mic right on the crowd. You could hear it kind of like coming from different locations. Then they zoomed in on the front of the crowd and on one lady in particular who was chanting Bullet Club. Boo Bit Club, Boo Bit Club, Boo Bit Club.
Some DOA assets right there.
That's that right. Yeah, Brandon is behind them, is being smothered by them right now. We'll let you breathe. We'll let you breathe, Brandon. I'm sorry. We got to let you breathe here. But yeah, I saw that. And I'm like, yo, really? Like y'all made sure to throw that up there, especially during this segment when that lady's boob just half hanging out.
You imagine that lady just being like, I'm going to Impact tonight.
Dress like that, you're not.
Yeah. I'll show you. You'll see.
The Good Brothers are gonna be there. This is for Daddy Dangly.
That is exactly the kind of women I imagine Gallows would pull to.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, that's totally somebody that's in Gallows as well. He probably has slept with her in the past. That's why she's got front row tickets.
Yeah,
allegedly. No.
This is I don't I don't want. I've already done enough shaming here. I don't want to talk about the people of whatever town this was. But when you look at the Impact crowd as a whole over the past several years, it always makes me sad.
Right? You're gonna rock like a wrestling shirt. You might like tie it up or cut it, but like you're not like going dressed like that. Like, yeah, I got you, Liz. Well, so let's break this down. So we had Bullet Club come out first. They started to cut a little promo, and then the Violent by Design comes out. Eric Young back and forth cutting the promo with Switchblade, which is pretty cool. It got me hyped up for their match, even though I knew it was coming because they announced it earlier. It was like, okay, cool. This is now I'm a little invested more. I think it kind of it reverse invested me, right? As like the viewer, I saw them where they said, oh, they're going to fight each other. So I'm like, all right, in my head, all right, they're going to fight each other. So I need to go ahead and pay a little more attention to this promo to see if they place a seed as to why these guys are really fighting each other, which it's leader against leader of Violent by Design versus leader of Bullet Club or whatnot. Right. And then, of course, the Bullet Club comes in, or not Bullet Club, but the OGs, the OC, the Good Brothers come out, and Carl just kind of cuts this. Carl just is Carl. Like, I listen to a lot of Talking Shop now, and I see that these two guys are just coming out and being themselves now, pretty much now, with their promos. Like Carl just has that Carl attitude. There's no real passion or anything behind his promo, but again, it's very. I mean, we've been waiting to see God versus the Good Brothers for a while now, right?
No, I haven't.
Well, Vet, you're the purist here, but for people who enjoy the Twitter beefs and that type of stuff, it's been a long time coming, and it's kind of nice to see them do it here. But if anyone won this promo battle, they have promo battles on the old WWE 2K games. I would have to say it goes to Tama Tonga and Switchblade. Like, I see now why Switchblade is who he is after cutting that promo that he cut. Like, I'm like, all right, this dude is fucking dope on the mic. Like, he's good in the ring, but his mic skills.
If you like this,
yeah.
If you like this, then he would blow you away, because this sucked for him by his standards. This was, like I said, Monday Night Raw light. So yeah, that's for the match.
I'm surprised Tama didn't drop as many F-bombs. Sorry, Vet. That because Tama, again, talking about promos, let's talk about Tama. Tama has that fire. They are Haku's kids, and I think one of the things that he gets in trouble for in New Japan is he drops that F-bomb because he is so fiery and passionate.
I don't think he gets in trouble for that.
No, he has. I've heard reports.
I've heard reports. There it is, guys. Mark alert. Here's a Mark alert. Now listen, bro. If he got in trouble for it, he wouldn't do it. And he doesn't do it here because he's a professional and he knows where he's at. That's why. So don't even bother Googling it, because it doesn't matter what it says. I'm just telling you, everybody in New Japan, they know what the deal is. So don't worry about that.
And you guys ever see that Doug Gilbert promo?
That Doug Gilbert promo?
Yeah, that Doug Gilbert promo.
Which one is it?
God,
the one that said, I'm Doug Gilbert and Jerry Lawler, you raped a 13-year-old girl.
No. But he probably shouldn't have done that. Well, there it is. So that's that's our show. Once again, you can find me at Opinion Hammer everywhere. No. Look, here's the thing. Jay White cusses a lot in his promos in New Japan. Everybody cusses their promos in New Japan because in Japan there are in the Japanese language there are no curse words that we have. They have words they use that can be harsh and offensive to them, but the word, like, they don't have made up curse words like we have, and so they have to use English curse words if they want to curse. So like they know that what Tama Tonga and those guys are saying is an English curse word, but it doesn't have the same like societal impact that it does when we say those kind of words in public. So that's why those guys are able to get away with saying that stuff. They can just be a little more freewheeling on their like backstage interviews. But these guys are total professionals. They know exactly when to say and what to say. So Tama Tonga doesn't have to hold himself back doing promos. In fact, it's, if anything, it's more like he goes out of his way to just talk how he normally talks when he's doing those backstage comments, because the backstage comments really are not scripted, prepared promos. They're backstage comments. They get these guys right after the match to walk backstage and talk to the camera. Some guys don't. Some guys just walk past it. Some guys cut 10-minute promos. Jay White once did a promo where after Tanahashi had destroyed both of his knees for like a 25-minute match, he had the Young Boys carry him to the back to do his entire backstage comments, like on the floor. Like he was sitting on the floor doing the comments because he was selling the fact that he couldn't walk after the match with Tanahashi. That's the kind of genius that Jay White is. This is just an Impact promo that anybody could have done. But I'm glad that you liked it, because that just lets you know this is the absolute tip of the iceberg when it comes to what Jay White can do. So I'm excited to see what they let him do in AEW and Impact going forward. But Jonathan Gresham is down, guys. He is down. We need a medic. He's just laying on the floor. Perhaps he ran into what's his name? Matt Cardona backstage, and he reminded him that his wife is no longer the digital media champion, and he fainted. We don't know what happened, but we got to get help for him. Speaking of which, that's a good transition, because remember when Cardona won a world title? No, not this weekend when he beat Trevor Murdoch for the NWA 10 pounds of gold. I'm talking about the Digital Media World Championship. So Gia asks Matt, Gia asks what Matt winning last week was all about, I guess, is essentially her question. Like, hey, why'd you win last week? And then he tells a whole story about how he invented the internet, so he needs this belt. And then he's also wearing a Jordan Grace shirt. So that's a nice little touch. Colin, you liked this Zack Ryder promo. Would you like to elaborate further for the people?
Well, it's just him cutting a promo about how this championship was made for him, and we're seeing a new edge to this Matt Cardona because he's always ready. And
he used to be an edgehead. Is that part of it?
Yeah,
is that a deep cut?
He's here. It's deep cut. So many deep cuts, bro. He's so meta. He was wearing a Jordan Grace shirt after defeating Jordan Grace and putting Jordan Grace over. So meta.
I mentioned that. I mentioned he was wearing the shirt.
So meta. But we owe it all to him. We wouldn't be sitting here talking about wrestling if it wasn't for Matt Cardona, who invented the internet. It wasn't Al Gore, ladies and gentlemen. It was Matt Cardona.
Was it?
Yeah, it was Matt Cardona.
Yeah.
South Park got it wrong.
Internet came a lot later than we all thought it did.
Yeah.
Like, you're thinking it came around in the 90s.
So Al Gore's internet died and Matt Cardona's internet was born.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Like
invented the internet back around 05, 06. That's kind of where he was inventing.
Yeah, I like the promo. I like, again, we talked about passion with the promos. You kind of Mr. Sleepy Eyes there with the hazy camera. You talked about passion with Josh Alexander's promo. I felt like we saw some passion from Matt Cardona. Like, this was a real promo. Like, this was something that was coming from the heart. And that's usually what gets over with people in the audience, is when you can tell that it's real and it's coming from the heart. And that's who this person is, kind of thing.
And he really was kind of the pioneer of setting up internet presence, marketing yourself, just getting that out there and just setting the foundation for that.
We should all bow down and kiss the feet of Matt Cardona for giving us our livelihood here at Hami Media Group. But I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to move on to the next segment. Matt Cardona pulled a hot tub time machine, says Sonic. Yes, he sure did. So next match, we got to get our. Oh wait, I want to address this too. Canada Spaceman reminds us that Maria Kanellis from Honor No More, who had a baby, does not look fat. That is all. Yeah, she does not look fat. Also, 2 babies. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure she was on her 2nd baby. So
Wow.
I don't want to hear it, Santana Garrett. Anyway, our next match is got to be the Honor No More. Continuing this whole deal that they're doing. Rhino and Rich Swann are out there to face tall Ace Austin and with Mickey Mouse gloves. And I'm trying to figure out who his partner. I couldn't figure out who his partner was. I was like, is that Biff Busick? Is that Cesaro? Is it Matt Raywalt? White Ricochet? I think it was Josh Alexander. I think it ended up being Josh Alexander, which was weird because his gear didn't really match Josh Alexander. He didn't have like the amateur cups on the ears, and also Josh Alexander was sent home. So I thought it was weird that not only was he here, but he's fighting with the Honor No More guys. But anyways, I don't know who else it could have been. By the time I figured it out, Swan was ruining the hot tag, and the other team was helping him do it by fumbling around, holding his leg. Matt Taven sucks. I'm just gonna say that. I'm sorry. There's no way to sugarcoat it. He just sucks. He sucks in the ring. I've seen him live. His shit looks really bad live. Like you can see right through everything he does. It's just very, very, very bad. A lot of these indie guys that you think look bad on TV, like some of the best friends guys like Chuck Taylor's and stuff like that. You think they look bad on TV. When you see them live, it's just everything they do looks absolutely horrible. And then Burt Macklin comes out to save Kerry Silkin from a potential beating. Of course, he has music, which his music is not really music at all. It's not the kind of music that you hit and you hear those bars and it pumps you up. It's like some weird static to start out. It's just doesn't really fit the spot. And then afterwards, he talks himself onto the team, like right behind the stage curtain. So there was a lot going on here. Not a lot of it good. But they're furthering the idea that, Macklin is going to be the replacement for Josh Alexander, even though Josh Alexander was just tag teaming with Tall Ace Austin here. So this whole thing doesn't make sense. So I don't know. After all that mess that I just regurgitated, what do you guys think?
Brandon?
Where? I was going to ask, where'd Heath go, or is he still selling that beating from before?
Not a bad question.
Beatings from Honor No More hurt more than regular beatings. D'Lo's out. Slater's out. So there you go.
Do we think that Burt was the one that attacked Jonathan Gresham? Is that where they're going to go with it?
Yeah,
Definitely
I think
a
that's where they're
suspect.
going to go with it.
Definitely a suspect.
Because you could tell the way they shot it that Eddie Edwards still doesn't quite trust Burt Macklin. He's still kind of looking at him with a side eye when they all started to walk away. He's just kind of like, I don't quite trust you there, guy.
Or, like, again, they could go for the swerve is that Gresham's been with them the entire time, and that was a setup.
True. I still think it's going to be revealed that Gresham's with Honor No More and Silkin's with Honor No More. I feel like it's going to be a whole ruse for the whole entire thing. It's all a ruse.
Yep, and all they need is a foot in the door.
It's a swerve.
That would be terrible, though. Don't you agree? I mean, that's just that would completely shit on both those guys' entire characters.
Pretty much.
It wouldn't make sense. Why would Jonathan Gresham want to support what those guys are doing if he's trying to also do this thing where wrestling is about handshakes and rules?
It's true.
Like that would be terrible. That would be the we're just doing this just to do it because you wouldn't expect it route. So I hope they don't. But
one thing I am remiss that I did not say when we were talking about the Bullet Club segment. is there were a lot of throwbacks to
9 days from tonight.
in those promos where they were talking about 9 days to no surrender, and then nine days, and then 7 days, and then I think that we talked about before the show. I was kind of perturbed because they said, "Oh no, not 9 days from now, not 7 days from now. Let's do this right now," and then they didn't even do anything. So apparently, they don't have the power and the ability to start matches whenever they want. But Josh Alexander does. He can just be like, "Get a ref out here right now. I want a match." And then the ref comes out, and then he gets a match.
And he's like, the ref comes out. And he's like, "Hey, Josh, what are you doing? Get out of here! What are you doing, Josh?" I heard that if you watch a VHS tape of a Good Brothers match, you die in 7 days. Is that true?
Yes, yes. A Betamax version, especially. It's like
All right.
3 days.
Okay.
'Cause it's shorter.
Yes. So
Actually,
next
you don't.
up.
Actually, you
sorry.
don't. Oh, you don't. No, actually, you don't die. You are in a chin lock for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you're just like,
Because you remember in the movie, like when they show the person's face and like their jaw was all like twisted and contorted and stuff. Like
Chin lock.
that makes sense. That
Chin
makes
lock.
sense.
you're just gonna find me like that one day, Vet. You're gonna be like, "Oh, it's chin lock." Vet's gonna be like, "I know what killed him."
Yeah. And then I gotta go dig up the entire family history of Carl
one
Anderson and Doc Gallows.
Bones can't figure it out, and the vet comes in and he's like, "I know that looks like a chin lock." See how the bones are pushed together like that? That's from the force of you squeezing your forearm or your bicep together while you have the guy in a chin lock. The pressure killed Colin.
That's right. Also, the boringness of the match.
He fell asleep.
Yeah, it rapidly aged him into a natural causes death.
He died painlessly because he was asleep.
Well, speaking of painless, that's a good transition because on this recap from BTI, they were nice enough to show us Lady Frost completely miss her finish on Alicia.
They tried to edit it out.
So talking about painless, yes, the moonsault that does not touch you, the temperature drop. She calls that the temperature drop.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah, they could have just said that she won her match. They didn't have to actually show that. But I guess that can be, those are some things that kind of play out politics wise inside where like you should protect somebody, but you end up showing them to rib them or to get back at them for something or to start something with them, or maybe that one of the guys in the production truck asked her out on a date and she was like, no. So it's like, okay, well, I'm going to show your fucked up moonsault then. Things like that happen. It sounds silly, but believe it, it happens. But the big story here is Giselle Shaw coming out to pose, which then we get Giselle with Gia and no music underneath. And she says if Frost has a problem, they can have a match next week. And the graphics department agrees because they have it ready to go in mere moments here as they show us that next week it will be Lady Frost versus Giselle Shaw. Colin, you have a question?
Professor Vet, why is it now that women wrestlers wanted to be called superstars and now all of their gimmicks are divas now?
Well, you see, the thing about, I don't know.
I feel like we're going back to bra and panty matches. Like, I don't feel like Giselle's going to enhance the division or move women's wrestling along. It's just like, oh, hey, look, she's hot. She's decent on the mic, I guess, from what we saw. She's a diva, so it's probably going to be terrible technical wrestling in the ring, and we're going to have to suffer through this. Like is she Impact's Lash Legend?
I don't know. No, because she already wrestled before.
Okay.
She not that it particularly matters to me one way or the other, but she perhaps is a transgender wrestler because, you know, that's kind of the rumor out there on the internet, which is very interesting because here in Impact it ain't no thing for a woman to face a man of any kind. So, like. But
if that's true, that does make sense.
So now to say that you want to be the diva of, you know, of Impact Wrestling, then okay, you know, that's fine. I don't really, I don't know, but it is an interesting thing here because Impact doesn't have the kind of stigma that other companies have. I mean, it's a stigma in itself that they just throw away intergender matches for free all the time. Like, that should be something that's an attraction that should draw money, but they're just do it on, like, one of their random taping shows. So, you know, I don't know. Is that the direction we're going to go? We're going to start with Lady Frost and then move on to other X Division stuff? Because apparently she does like you know, real athletic high flying moves and stuff in the ring. Apparently, I haven't watched any of the matches, so I don't know. But that's what the internet says. The internet told me so. You know, Zack Ryder.
The internet told you she hit her moonsault. Lady Frost did.
Mm-hmm. But thankfully, the actual show Impact showed me that she did not.
It showed you the truth.
My big thing is, like, do we really need a fifth narcissistic mean girl gimmick on the show?
That too, because you got the inspiration, you got the influence. I was making a point of the whole diva thing as, like, you've got the inspiration, you've got the influence, now you've got Giselle, you've got Deanna and her virtuosa gimmick. Like, yeah, it's getting too much, right, Brandon? It's too many gimmicks in one house. Time for a wrestle house. Get rid of all these gimmicks.
Put all
Wrestle
these
House.
women in a house.
Wrestle House at the Hardy compound.
I love this match.
Chris
All right.
Sabin loves this match.
Chris Sabin loves this match.
Let's get on out of here, Vet. Let's knock it out.
Let's wrap it up, guys, because we're almost done. And especially for me, because the next match is W. Morrissey versus Myers with the tree. And this match has a kendo stick in it. So, take it away. I'm done.
My favorite thing about this match is Zicky Dice being driven through the table and selling throughout the whole entire match. Like, it looks like he didn't move from that one spot because later on they went outside of the ring and he was still laying in the rubble of the table, like selling like he was just dead. Zicky Dice, a national treasure that we need more on our television here on Impact Wrestling and just in sports entertainment in general. Let's
Not to
do
be
this.
confused with Nick Aldis, the national treasure.
No, not that. No,
Or
no,
Aldi,
Zicky
the
Dice.
chain of
Can we get
cheap
Zicky Dice
groceries.
in New Japan? Zicky Dice and Toriyano in New Japan. Let's do it. Book it.
Nah.
Zicky Dice versus the Stone Pitbull. Book it.
That'd be nice. So the thing about Zicky Dice, because I've already talked about, I've talked about the women getting fat. There's no other way to say it. I've talked about it. But Zicky Dice. Now you look at a guy like Zicky Dice, also fat and gross looking, and that is for his character for heat. It's like he could wear anything he wants, but he wears just like the regular trunks. You know what I mean? With his terrible body. Mostly showcased for all of us to see, and we're supposed to be annoyed by that or find it, like, you know, offensive or, you know, even mildly funny or whatever. Like, we're laughing at him like, look at this guy, he's fat or whatever. So that's why he's doing that on purpose. I don't think that's what the women are going for. That's why I think you should either just diet the extra 5 to 6 pounds off, or get a piece of gear that it doesn't matter if you have an extra 5 or 6 pounds on. But for Zicky Dice, that adds to his character of, like, if he was a serious character and he just came out there looking like that and he was a dead serious, I'd be like, this guy needs to lose weight. That's what I would say, right? So that is the difference there. But I wanted to point that out, just so in the interest of fairness.
I noticed too earlier. Now Maria looked like she was wearing like one of those bodysuits that if she had anything, would have covered her up.
That's right, but she didn't. As Canada Spaceman let us know, all of her weight is in her butt, and she usually lets the bottom half of it hang out of whatever she's wearing, which I'm sure we can all appreciate.
I just imagine that Zicky. Every time I see Zicky Dice, I think it's just Danny McBride who's like, "All right, now I'm doing my wrestling character now," and he just shows up, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's just Danny." And they're like, "Oh, we're gonna call him Zicky Dice," but no, it's Danny McBride shooting a movie.
Yeah, he's definitely exactly the character that he would play if he was making a movie. If Danny McBride was making a wrestling movie, he would be Zicky Dice.
Now, I did enjoy this match. Let's enough Zicky Dice for this show. Let's talk about this match. Brandon, we'll get your insight here in just a moment, but I like the psychology behind this match, Ved. You had Brian Myers who had to find a way to take the big man down because, again, we all know a guy like Morrissey would just destroy anybody, especially a group like Brian Myers and the Learning Tree and stuff like that. So he was able to get him down and duct taped him, to the rope, and then was able to do a lot of different things to him. And then we saw, as Canada Spaceman put it, the coast to coast. We saw the athleticism with the trash can, a little callback to old Shane O'Mac. And Morrissey basically just selling the whole entire time. We saw the big man down basically the whole entire match until the end. As soon as he got free, he pretty much just raged and took Brian Myers out. And then you got to like how he goes outside and gets the tacks. And we get 3 power bombs on the tacks for good measure there. To really add emphasis, and he pinned him on top of the tacks, so even more time spent on top of the tacks for Brian Myers, which his pain leads to our enjoyment. I feel like. So Brandon, what were your thoughts?
And poor ref having a count in those tacks.
Ooh, yeah.
Man, VSK, at least he got taken out of the match early because he almost ruined it with some of his shit. Like those kicks, what were those kicks in the corner? Like he's barely even touching
Vet's face says it all. Look at the vet's face.
I didn't see it. I wasn't paying attention. There was a kendo stick here, so I disavowed this. There was one thing I did see though, just while I'm talking about it, and you mentioned this, Colin, where they duct taped him or whatever. So when they were duct taping Morrissey to the rope, and he was doing this, was that him tapping out to the duct tape, or was he weakly fighting him off?
I think he was weakly fighting him off there.
Okay,
I think he might have been tapping. He could have pulled some hair off, Vet. That hurts.
Okay, just checking. Continue, Brandon.
Does Canada Spaceman deserve the 5-minute timeout, Vet?
Nah, he's doing this on purpose. He loves money.
Okay. Just making sure. Just having to double check there. I didn't want to just pull the trigger too quickly. But since he ruined it, that bum apparently, allegedly, according to Canada Spaceman, we don't believe that here on the Impact Attack, but Moose appeared out of nowhere and took out Morrissey from behind and was talking a bunch of shit. Telling him like, how dare you come to my hotel, and looking under the ring. I like how Moose pulls a chair out from under the ring and then is continuing to look under the ring for more things, practically crawls under the ring to pull out another chair. This chair is the choking chair. The other chair is the hitting over the back kind of chair. This chair you have to choke someone with. It's specifically for choking, not for hitting.
I had it written here in my notes. This is exactly how it goes. Moose appears and gives W. Morrissey a scarf made of steel chair and makes sure it fits snugly about 4 times.
Yep, pretty much. He wrapped that steel chair around his neck Pretty safe spot. You could see where Morrissey was trying to protect himself, where he would move the chair to kind of keep his head in between when Moose would hit that chair, so it wasn't hitting him or anything like that. And then the last one,
he just had his aunt holding the seat in between.
yeah, no, but you could tell like he was moving it too in between his head and stuff like that. Like he was rotating it and moving it around. And then when he fell forward, he got it to like lay open, so he was kind of in a face down position. And instead of Moose, I thought Moose was going to hit him with the back. But again, he didn't get the hitting you with the chair. He got the choking you chair. And I guess this chair only works hitting metal on metal, as well as he swung and hit the top part of the steel chair to add a little emphasis to the damage that he was dealing to W. Morrissey.
Well,
a lot safer than the baseball bat that Eddie Edwards took from Sammy Callahan.
True, it's safer, but it also looks like shit because everybody knows that you're just not actually hitting him, and that's bad, which is why it would have been nice for, at this point, if we had, like we did to save Big Con earlier in the night, if only we had...
your
line, George.
The...
Guards! More guards!
Right. So it's okay to have one of the guys in your main event pay-per-view title match or whatever coming up to have him maimed and Pillmanized with a chair. That's perfectly fine. We don't need to send anybody out to stop that. But God forbid if Big Con stays in an ankle lock too long. We wouldn't want Big Con to have to worry about his health and well-being, here with his guest spot to do a 30-second match on Impact here. So this is why I'm just saying, like, you have to take these things into account when you're trying to figure out, okay, what are we going to do in this scene and how are we going to get out of it? Instead of making Moose do some phony-looking chair shit, you should have security trying to stop him and just pulling him off, right? Like, it looks like he's about to deliver the final blow that will cripple W. Morrissey after he's already hurt him, and then it's like, no, we're stopping that. But look what he would have done. He would have done this. He's crazy. It's a good thing we didn't see it. There might be children here watching. There might be that lady with the boobs as kids that could have seen Moose get crippled here, but thank goodness security came and did their damn job, right?
Speaking of ladies with the boobs, Frank's Pickle Barrel ass is in the chat. Frank, we're going to show you the lady with the boobs while Vet continues his rant about Moose and the chair shot and how they should have guards out there. Continue, Vet. Rant to her boob. Look down towards her boob.
Right. So security should have hauled that off. And maybe if you told me that they were ejecting her from the building, it took all of them to do it, I would believe that's why they weren't there to stop Moose. But what's going to happen now? What's going to happen is Morrissey's going to show up at No Surrender, and he'll be just fine, and he'll have a full match with Moose, like none of this ever happened.
She'll be there.
So, what? Huh?
Will she be there?
Maybe. So, that's the other thing. If you don't give Moose the out, and you make him hit this phony blow on with the chair, then
enough out of you, Brandon. You quit motorboating her.
Yeah, the only person that ever motorboated somebody from behind. That's
well,
you
never watched back to the motorboat too.
In the boobs.
Early editions of the Ridiculously Random podcast were audio only, right? And like on Zoom, Ray would have a background still, and it would usually be like pornographic. And he would sit there and like lick the titties or lick the wiener. Like he'd be like that for whatever was on there. It's very, very, very terrible.
Great. Thanks for sharing.
Very
we
terrible.
Never had to know that. If we
His name
had
was
missed
big.
out on that
he had
era.
big in front of it. He had big in front of it. That's why.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. It got over then, right? Because it had big in front of it?
It had big in front of
All
it.
right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, Canada Spaceman's not fooling me. He says he does not like that after W. Morrissey won that great match, Moose decides to bless us with an appearance. No. Oh, come on, Canada Spaceman. It's Moose. It's Big Moose. You know. Big Moose is Sonic the Hedgehog's favorite part. Yeah, everybody loves moose. You're a Canadian. You love moose
And
so,
trucks.
Yeah,
Truckers.
yeah, truckers too. Them too. Yeah, that'll be the new delivery system. If the truckers can't
Go get everything
go on
by
their
moose.
routes, then we'll get a moose delivery company going. Where
Gonna
they
be very
all
good.
deliver the Impact Champion Moose, and he will threaten people to not to open the roads back up. Otherwise, they'll get 4 chair shots to the neck. So, in any case, just to wrap it up, if you don't protect Moose and you make him have to do this phony shit, not only does that bury Moose when Morrissey comes out and shows up fine at the pay-per-view, but it also takes away the imagination that we have as the audience of, oh my God, what was he going to do to him? Which is always worse than what actually happens, especially in fake wrestling where it's all fake. That's it.
It's all fake. All of it.
Yep. Even
Brandon,
even that
anything
promo with Carl Anderson, like Carl Anderson set Tamatonga up for the line about getting fired from everywhere by repeating multiple times that they, whatever he said to feed him that line. So even that was like pre-planned. You know what I mean? That promo was fucking pre-planned. And just to get Tama over on that part. So yes, it's all fake, guys. Sorry.
Brandon, got anything?
I mean, I thought we could have done a little bit more to make Moose look strong. But yeah, we need to do something to make sure we sell the beatings. We see it way too much of like something like this going down, and like the next week they're fine, or not even as much as a neck brace.
Yeah, he probably won't be hurt at all by any of this. Like Brian Myers will show up next week all fucked up and like damaged and everything, and Moose will just be walking just fine. Maybe a small limp if that. Or not Moose, but Morrissey.
Or when I see something with Myers, that'd be something kind of cool with Myers to see next week of like him having the learning tree pulling the tags out of his back.
Ooh, that would be cool. Lesson number 542: How to take tacks out after a tack match. VSK, get over here. Grab those pliers. Zicky's just like pulling them out with his fingers one at a time. Sorry, Lizbeth. It's still real to you, damn it. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you what, if wrestling did a better job of protecting themselves, then I would do a better job of protecting them too.
You gotta make sure you keep your hands where they can see you. Just in case you don't know what to do with your hands, Brandon. You gotta leave them up here. Oh well. Let everybody know where they can find you, sir.
Well, I think they should already know, but you can find me at Opinion Haver everywhere on all the social media platforms. And you can find me on the Next Level Wrestling Review every Wednesday morning. And you can find me here in the Impact Attack, which looks like you already found me if you're listening to this. And you could even find me on Twitch sometimes. Buckshot Kid wanted me to stream some of the Sifu gameplay, so I did. And I might continue to do that. So if you follow me on Twitch and you want to see me do some martial arting, then go ahead and follow me there and hit the notification dealy and whatever, and hang out with me when I do that. That'd be nice. But other than that, how about you guys?
Been hearing a lot of people complain about seafood and it being hard. Brandon, go ahead.
As always, you can find me at all the places at Miss Tia the Transarchist, mainly on Twitch. Trying to get at least a couple streams in a week. Sometimes it doesn't always work out that way, due to work and other factors getting involved. But trying to build it. But hopefully, going to get things going here once the stocks and crypto get back up.
Crypto looks to be going in the right direction right now. It's a little green. Late at night. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking around this long. If you stuck around this long, you get a little bit of a treat, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna treat you.
Ooh,
something that Brandon talked about a little earlier.
Oh
here.
boy.
Let me make sure. Hang on, let me redo this.
Yep, that's the promo.
Ah, shit. I just Post it out.
No, the show's not over, guys. They just aren't saying anything right now while Colin is fiddling with this thing.
No, I had to make sure I set with. I closed the wrong tab out, but I want to make
You
sure.
have to vamp. You have to vamp if you're gonna do
Dash.
stuff.
Audio system here. Bam.
I don't want to vamp. I want to go to bed.
I didn't share the audio there, so you guys wouldn't have been able to hear it.
You know I'm Doug Gilbert, and Jerry Lawler, you raped a little 13-year-old girl.
Come on. This is all. We're not.
Now, I saved y'all about 4 minutes of him setting up him doing that joke because he did a spot where he's like cutting a promo on Christopher Adams, Christopher Adams, the Adams family, Brian Christopher, and he's just like da 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 da, because your daddy owns the company or whatever, and then he's like, oh, I'm not supposed to say that. There's certain things I'm not supposed to say on television because this is live, and then the guy's like, yeah, you're not supposed to say things. He's like, I'm not supposed to say things like, and then he goes into Brian Christopher, you, and then he says something else really loud, but it's not quite the raping a 13-year-old thing, right?
Yeah,
and then he's like,
got the promoters, the guy with the finger on the button, Randy Hale up there smoking crack.
yeah, said the thing about smoking crack, right? And then oh my God, you can't say that. You can't say that. Oh, come on. Then he leads into the Jerry Lawler, you raped a 13-year-old, and walks it off. Like
Tommy Rich behind him, like, well, my career's over.
You can edit this out, can't you? You got the power to edit this out. Brandon, you should bring your excitement to the NXT review. And then Sonic the Hedgehog felt like this is wrong. Was this wrong, Vet? How do you feel about Doug Gilbert calling out Jerry the King Lawler?
Well, come on. What do you think? Well, look.
Well, bringing something like this into a promo, let's put it like that,
Well,
right?
Here's the thing. When back in those days, they were still trying to convince people this shit was real. So if Jerry Lawler is like in public trouble with the law for things, then mentioning it, that's up to you. But I just wouldn't do it because the truth is, it is like he is the boss. So maybe that's something that I just don't see a situation where Jerry would sit there and say, okay, now this is what I want you to say. Okay, this will get you a lot of heat. I just don't see him saying that. So this is obviously a case of this guy going into business for himself. And you can do your own research to find out how long he worked in the territory there after that happened.
Not very long. Like Brandon said, Tommy Rich was like, "Oh Lord,
I am not with him."
Oh
Yeah,
God.
I think it might have been the promo. I think there was the promo that led to the promotion getting closed. So that was the developmental for like where guys like Kurt Angle were getting their start or getting seasoned.
There you go. There you go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can find me on Twitter at Colin Wysong. You can find me on Facebook at Colin Wysong, on Instagram, everywhere pretty much at Colin Wysong. You can find us each and every week on Tuesday at the A Show. Aaron's last show, Tuesday.
What?
He is off to greener pastures. No more Aaron on the A Show, but April is going to continue on because she is a warrior and she loves doing this, and so she's gonna have guests. We're gonna line a few things up, and I'm gonna fill in from here and there with April Hunter. We're gonna continue the A Show, as Aaron Stevens has a lot going on.
We need another A.
We need another A. I'm gonna have to change my name.
Alan Wysong.
Yeah, we're gonna do a poll. Come up with your best names. We'll choose the best 5, and then we'll do a Twitter poll on what my name will be with an A. And then Wednesdays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Ridiculously Random Podcast with Big Ray, who also jobs to Canadian men in bathrooms in New York. It's not the C show; it's still the A show. April Hunter is still at Archibald. Okay, we might go to that because you can call me Archie for short. Okay, we'll see. We'll see what we like. Where you going with that, Lizbeth? But yeah, Ridiculously Random Podcast, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you get in your emails for your top 5 video fighting games. Basically, video fighting games. What the fuck to say? How he sent me the logo for it. And guys, enjoy these boobs while we go off the air. Y'all have a great night, guys.